Next on Deck with Tim Black.
Today, Don Lemon had a guest on his show by the name of Joy Reid.
But now I guess it's also illegal to be against Tesla.
Joy Reid has not stopped. She's still doing the same crap she was doing.
Not like January 6th, not like January 6th, not like January 6th, not like January 6th where you go in.
Had a good conversation. Gaslight the hell out of America.
Who can raid the Capitol, ransack the Capitol. And by the way, it's not even just pardoning the January 6th insurrectionists.
Can you, I can't believe this. He worked at CNN for 15 years, making multiple millions of dollars every year. Joy Reid worked at MSNBC for multiple millions of dollars a year. And now they're independent media because they got fired.
And the government is going to now essentially use the mighty power of the U.S. federal government to try to boost car sales for one company. This is not what America is supposed to be, right? But now I guess it's also illegal to be against Tesla, and the government is going to now essentially use the mighty power of the U.S. federal government to try to boost car sales for one company. This is not what America is supposed to be, right? It was founded as sort of an oligarchy, but is this where we are now, that we're going to now have the federal government forcibly protect one company above all other companies? At what point do they then step in and say only Grok AI is legal?
Listen to this. Look at the comment. We could burn the flag, but not Tesla. Yeah, why would you think you should be able to burn companies out of existence? It's just, I don't know why is that. And that person paid to say that. Person spent money. Why can't we burn Teslas? Because it's against the law to burn property you don't own.
OpenAI, you can't use that. We're going to say that you must use his AI.
And now she's going to just gaslight.
Only Grok AI is legal. OpenAI, you can't use that.
And this is something I noticed about Joy years ago. She'll make a statement that has no facts. There's nothing undergirding it. There's nothing supporting it. She'll just throw it out, right? And just say it for no reason at all. I think this is one of the reasons why she don't have a job anymore. Now she's saying that Trump likes Elon so much, he's going to outlaw all other AIs except for Elon's AI, which is Grok. There's been no indication of it. There's been no statement supporting it. There's been nothing done that she could infer that. And then later she'll say, but I have no proof of it. After she said it and went on 3 sentences, she'll then come back and say, but I got no proof of it. It's just a thought. After she's put it in your head. And I got people defending her, upset that she got fired. She's a propagandist. She's a liar, a gaslighter, and a mouthpiece for the Democratic Party. And it means not to do us any good. It's not about defending Elon Musk. She does this with everything. It's what she does on a nightly basis. Some people don't pay attention. But I learned to take these types of segments sentence by sentence and look at each sentence. And what does it mean? Is this fact or is this commentary? Is this opinion? What is this? Is this an assertion? What is she implying? What does this mean? And if you do that with Joy Reid, you're going to come away with a lot of what she said being bogus as hell.
Companies. At what point do they then step in and say only Grok AI is legal? OpenAI, you can't use that. We're going to say that you must use his AI. You know, he's already trying to bully advertisers to advertise on X Twitter, which they don't want to because they're Nazis on there. But they're using this sort of leverage power to force Tesla to continue to be profitable. And that, to me, feels like a complete distortion of what the U.S. is.
Force them to be profitable. I thought they were trying to force you not to burn down the dealerships. Like, yo, I thought this whole thing was about the cars getting burnt down, people getting harassed. I saw a black dude that had a Tesla truck showing what they did to his truck. I thought that's what this was about. Private citizens in dealerships being firebombed and shot up and cars vandalized. indiscriminately. I thought that's what this about. Joy Reid's flipping it and saying it's about Trump trying to protect his friend, who's actually working as a special assistant to the president right now. Isn't he? Isn't that what I thought that's what he was doing? Isn't that what he's doing? I thought that's what he's doing. Let me get this right. So if Kamala Harris is a special assistant to Donald Trump and she had a nail company or she built robots herself, I don't know, maybe she built robots. Let's not even be chauvinistic, Tim. Let's be careful. Let's say she's building robots and you decide to go trash all her robots. If you stepped in, if you say, hey, we need to stop trashing her robots, would that be favoritism? Or would that be she's working for him? She's in the hot seat because she's working for him, and you're attacking her based on her work that she's doing for him, which is political. Would you have a problem, Joy? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't even be doing this segment. You wouldn't even be talking about it because you like Kamala. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, and that's what it's always about.
So here's the thing, and you heard it. I don't know if people heard it clear enough. No one is condoning that, and if so,
yeah, Don jumped right over all the bullshit Joy just said because he's not even willing to go there with the fabricating, erroneous nonsense, all the BS, all the lies. He's not even willing to play that game. She just went on a little rant, and Don act like it didn't happen. He's going to remind people, hey, we're not advocating violence, because that's what this segment was supposed to be about. Not about Trump. It's trying to help Elon's company do well. Now he's just trying to get you to stop burning it to the ground.
Someone is burning a car, then whatever it is, under the law that they're should face, then I think they should face them.
God, I can't say the fact that January 6th happened. It's like no matter what happens in Earth, if you're a Democrat, if you're a liberal, you got to bring it back to January 6th. Doesn't matter what it is. Someone could litter. A Democrat could litter, and you could say, hey, why are you littering? And they'll say, why did you lock up the people on January 6th? Well, some people that committed those things on January 6th that I don't support getting let out, but some of them have been in jail for years. You do understand that, Joy. You do know that. Like, people act like these people just went for a weekend at Bernie's or something. They just went to Club Med for a couple of weeks. Now, there are people that have been in jail since that shit happened. I don't know if you remember, but it happened like almost 4 years ago. Some people did years in jail, Johnson. Literal jail. And you act like they didn't get any repercussions at all. There are other people that should be let go. Like No Dapple comes to mind, where they're upset about the pipeline that was running through North Dakota. Like, I supported them getting out of jail and not being charged. So I support activists. I don't much feel like January 6th was activism. That was more like people just acting out. But to talk as if nothing happened, I don't know. Spending years in jail is a big deal, I would think. And folks, they all use the same line.
you tear up the Capitol, and then you get pardoned. Here's the thing, though.
It's no different, man, than the Democrats or the Republicans who use BLM riots. Yeah, man. Every time they don't see, because of this shit, because of Don Lemon and Joy Reid have nothing else to say. They have nowhere else to go. They do it on the CNN panels all the time too. January 6th, the View. Oh God! If I had $1 for every time Whoopi or Joy Behar, the other one, whatever her name is, that they brought up January 6th, I'd have a lot of dollars, Johnson. A lot of dollars. Because that's all they do. And you know what happens? The Republicans do the same thing. They bring up the BLM riots. Oh, they won't stop bringing it up. Oh, remember all the buildings that were burned and they did the thing and the thing. They had to hear that. Do they ever include the fact that we know that some of that was done by people that were not even associated with BLM, that there were all types of infiltrators there doing that? How many infiltrators were there on January 6th? Probably some too. Neither side will admit that's what happens at all these events. There's always FBI guys and implants breaking the law right along with the people that are about to be charged. Hell, there were people implanted at some of those police stations that got burnt that were actually initiating the violence.
If this was a company that he deemed to be liberal, he would say, well, that's what happens to the liberals, or that's what happens to the liberals and they deserve it. Just like he, called the NBA players sons of bitches, saying that he didn't like what they were doing. What about Target? What about DEI and Target? Like, he's not, they made all of those companies get rid of that. He didn't say that when they boycotted Bud Light.
Right. And the right does boycotts all the time. They boycott
because it don't have anything to do with him. Like, everyone knows that Tesla, like, no one, part of the reason why Elon is under fire is because he's working with Trump. Like, are people understanding? Is this basic or what? Like, even if you can't stand Elon Musk, I'm not a fan of him, but I recognize that if he was just making his starships and shit, minding his business and not working with Donald Trump, his Teslas probably aren't going to get burnt. Because it's not just about the money, right? Because there's a list of Democrats, of donors he's given to donations to Democrats. Yeah, we do know that, right? So like Bill Gates, George Soros, Mark Cuban, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry. There's a number of billionaires that give money to the Democrats, right? So it's not just about him donating to the Democrats, it's that he's working with Donald Trump. Therefore, that makes it different than Coors or Bud Light or whatever the hell. Don Lemon's bringing up that he doesn't even drink. We all know you drink some Rolling Rock bullshit. Some special small batch brew stuff, you and Tim, with your pinky out. Don Lemon.
out of the Barbie movie.
You go woke, you go broke.
Go woke, you go broke. So
Right.
what we're now saying is that there's a protected class of Americans who can boycott things.
Yeah, they're called LGBTQIA or immigrants, and you support both of them more than you support Black Americans. Tether in LGBTQ person. The end. The end. I just won the internet for Black Americans, right? Because that's really the deal, right? Finally somebody said it. And I'm not a comedian that can hide and say, oh, but I was making a joke. No, I'm speaking truth.
Who can raid the Capitol, ransack the Capitol. And by the way, it's not even just pardoning the January 6th insurrectionists. It's Donald Trump threatening to prosecute the people who prosecuted those people. Say, holding over their heads and prosecute them. Maybe Jack Smith needs to be prosecuted for daring to investigate Trump's role in it. Like literally saying it's illegal to do anything that displeases Donald Trump. And it's illegal to do anything that hurts the bottom line income of Elon Musk.
Someone down here says, subscribe and join to support independent media. They call Don Lemon independent media. You can't make this shit up, Johnson. Calling Don Lemon independent media. Can you, I can't believe this. He worked at CNN for 15 years, making multiple millions of dollars every year. Joy Reid worked at MSNBC for multiple millions of dollars a year. And now they're independent media because they got fired. This is why we can't have nice things, Johnson.
So these two men are super citizens, and it is illegal to displease them. That is the most un-American thing I've ever heard. And if that's where we're going, then we are not a democracy anymore.
Oh, we're not a democracy anymore. Man, I don't know who watches this shit. Yo, she just said we're not a democracy anymore because Trump wants you to stop burning Elon Musk's Teslas. Nah, we want a democracy where they kill Fred Hampton in his bench. Yeah, jackass. We ceased to be a democracy when they were killing black kids in that reform school and burning them behind the school in unmarked graves. You jackass. Then a democracy when black women died at 3 or 4 times the rate of white women just giving childbirth. Poser, cosplaying like a journalist. But we're not a democracy now because he wants to help he wants to help preserve Teslas. And the worst thing about it, folks, the worst thing about it is there are people in that comment section that aren't bots. If they were all bots, I'd be cool with it. Wouldn't even bother me. There are people that call themselves smart people. They'll be driving cars and everything, operating machinery at home, plugging in the iron, all by themselves, using knives, picking up the knife and walking across the room. They manage to do all those things, but they cannot deduce that this is bullshit. This they can't figure out. They can't see through this. Knowing all the history of all the horrible, horrible things. Obama droned American citizens without taking them to court. He killed them because he thought they might be helping ISIS. He literally killed them without trials. She didn't say, this is not a democracy. We don't have a democracy. Our democracy's gone. She said, Trump's evil. Let's focus on that. And he's running for president. That's what she did. Joy has also been wrong about everything. She thought Kamala was going to win this time, and she never thought Trump would be president. And she thought that Joe Biden was cognitively aware and should remain president. That's 3. You're out of there, Joy. But not if you are looking black, anchor baby. That's good enough. That's good enough. Front of the line. She's great. She represents us. How she represent us when she don't champion anything that supports us and has dumb talking points like this? Now we don't have a democracy because of Elon Musk, because Trump because Trump did exactly what Biden did, which is do a promo for Tesla. Biden did a promo for Jeeps on the White House lawn. He was doing donuts and shit. I don't remember Joy going, where's our democracy? He's helping, it's the same shit. Like, I don't applaud it, but Elon's got 20, 30,000 U.S. employees. That's no small number. It's more than I have. I mean, it matters.
Put ablaze. You have experienced assassination, threats of assassination for you and your family. What have you done that warrants this? Because I see nothing that you have done except help our country.
Yeah, I mean, it's really come as quite a shock to me that there's this level of really hatred and violence from the left. I always thought the left, or Democrats, were supposed to be the party of empathy, the party of caring, and yet they're burning down cars, they're firebombing dealerships.
Yeah, I don't know why you thought that. You're kind of goofy there for that one. Yeah, I got to roast your ass on that one, Elon. Whoever told you that shit? What made you think that? They're the party that want to go to war longer. Yeah, they're the warmonger party now. They switch places with the Republicans. They want to keep us in Ukraine and sit back while Israel destroys all the kids and the women and the men in Palestine, in Gaza. That's what they want to do. That's what they're down for, Johnson. I don't know why you would be dumb enough to think that they're the party of peace. Not even close to it. Nowhere in that realm, Johnson. They've been a peace party since what, the 90s? I don't know. Since Obama. When they looked the other way, when Obama was droning people till he ran out of bombs. Literally. And they looked the other way and act like nothing happened.
Firing bullets into the dealerships. They're just, smashing up Teslas. Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things. So I think we just have a deranged, there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, again, that should not happen. People should not be burning cars or setting fires to whatever. But there is.
He said, but. He said, but.
It's a coordinated effort going on between a company, right? Someone who has contracts with the U.S. government and the White House. It just, to me, it is weird. Perhaps they should have maybe Marco Rubio or somebody, or Pam Bondi. I don't know, somebody going out, or different police commissioners in states if they want to do it. But it's like coming right from the White House, going straight to state-run media at Fox News and being pumped out to the masses.
To protect the president's largest donor, whom he has unleashed to tear up the federal government with no congressional oversight. And by the way, Elon Musk.
And it will probably be overturned by the government, by the courts, possibly, right? Just like Biden was overturned, just like Obama's various executive actions were overturned. Trump's only been president 2 months. We'll see how long this shit sticks. You know, we'll see. But all this gaslighting, like the world is over, like everything is doomed, and it's the end of days. It's the only way Democrats keep you guys watching, because that's all they got. They're ineffective, and when they had the ball, they didn't want to run the ball. They were scared. They all took a knee. He took a knee with time on the clock. And Trump got the ball back, and he's scoring touchdowns on their ass. And all they can do now is cry foul. He hit me, you know. He hit me. That's all they got left. And it's pathetic. They outspent Trump. Hillary outspent Trump 2-1. I don't know how much Kamala spent. She had billions of dollars she spent and threw away. Stop complaining about Elon Musk. She sucked. And this is where we are. And once again, Democrats got more money from billionaires than Trump got from Elon Musk. He had to give so much money to make up for all the multiple millionaires that were giving money to the Democratic Party, and it still didn't help you win. You still spent more than Elon Musk gave Trump. And you still lost. Because money can't buy everything.
I'm saying Tesla's a peaceful company that's never done anything wrong. Sir, Tesla was sued by multiple employees for racial discrimination, with allegations such as blacks were segregated inside of their facilities and subjected to racist hatred, including being called the N-word at work, to the point where multiple people sued and went to the EEOC. And there was actually a federal investigation of Tesla, which of course has gone away now that Trump is here, along with the investigations into safety issues at Tesla. And the bottom line being here that when I saw the other day, and I'm sure you saw this, Don, that Donald Trump signed another order that rescinded the rules that say that federal contractors cannot engage in segregation.
Yeah.
We've had an anti-segregation executive order on the books since the Lyndon Johnson era.
Yeah.
Donald Trump rescinded that. Why in the year of our Lord 2025 would you rescind an executive order banning segregation? The only company that I have heard about that is a federal contractor that's been accused, and I'm not saying convicted, but accused of practicing racial segregation at its workplace is Tesla. And so it felt, when I saw it, people have been sending it to me all day saying, oh my God, they're reinstituting segregation. It's in federal contracting. They no longer bar a federal contractor from engaging in segregation.
Okay, let's stop there, Johnson, because it's a lot to unpack, and I'm here for it. This is what we call the bonus segment here, and this is where we get into it. So there's two things that she claimed. One is that Trump wants to segregate America, which sounds a whole lot like Trump, take it back to slavery. That's desperation on the part of the Democrats. So that's one thing we got to debunk. And the other thing we got to debunk is Tesla with the discrimination lawsuit. And already this has infected the minds of people that I thought were cool with the show and respected what we do here. And they just assumed that what Joy Reid is saying is right. And this is why I can't stand propagandists. So let's start with the Tesla lawsuits. We'll get to segregation next. Let's start with the lawsuits because this is important. First of all, anybody that got discriminated against at a Tesla location and are suing Elon Musk, and you can prove it in court, more power to you. Sue him again. Get all the money you can. I'm not here to cape for Elon Musk. And if there was discrimination and that brother that got that money, I'm glad you got that money. Get more money. My only wish is that you got further money out of it. Okay? He got it. You might as well get some of it. Okay. That's the first thing. Unlike Joy, I actually root for Black Americans. If there are other facilities where black people have experienced discrimination, on the job, N-word or something, what have you, whatever happened, get paid, okay? But it's going to be very difficult to tie that to Elon Musk because he didn't have it none of the lawsuits say that Elon Musk advocated for it in his guidebook or in his employee handbook or gave directives to his employees to conduct business that way. He has thousands, literally 100,000 employees. He does not run the shops that were being investigated. Directly does not run or man or supervise or manage the personnel directly who were in those lawsuits, who were alleged to discriminate or to conduct these types of actions that led to these lawsuits. So that's 1, 2, and like 3 points there. So it's very easy for him to slip the jab on that and sweep your legs and knock you off of your high horse. Because you're just smearing them with no facts. Yes, people that employed at Tesla did something bad they shouldn't have done, and hopefully those people get paid. Since we're talking about lawsuits, let's talk a little further about lawsuits. When I look at major lawsuits in corporations, now these are just major corporations. There are a number of corporations that have lawsuits on discrimination lawsuits. Several major companies have faced racial discrimination claims in recent years. This is just recent, resulting in lawsuit settlements and public scrutiny. Below are just some of the prominent examples based on available information. I'm not going to go in depth, I'm just going to give you the names. Walmart, General Electric, Tesla, McDonald's, Starbucks, Amazon, and Target. Everything you said about Tesla, you can say about these other companies. But you didn't. And then you act like, oh, I couldn't find any other companies that have had racial discrimination lawsuits that included segregation or whatever you said. And I found it just by doing an easy search. Because it's right there. To think you live in America. Like you're not in the Congo anymore. You're not in Guyana anymore, where your parents are from. You're in America. And in America, there's been a lot of discrimination. For you to even float and Don not correct your ass, no one corrects you. When you say, hey, I can't think of any other companies that have done, what? This is America. We were built on this shit. What are you talking about? What you mean you couldn't find any other companies where people discriminated against people? Discriminated against black people. And he noticed, folks, she could have talked about anybody type of discrimination. There are LGBTQIA discrimination going on. Particularly now, with the new DEI implementations that took place the last couple of years, there's been an uptick in discrimination lawsuits based on gender and orientation. She could have brought that up, but of course, why is Joy Reid going to black? It ain't because she's a black American, because she ain't. Why? Because she can't bring up discrimination or other things bad about Tesla. Why she have to go to black people? Because that's the currency, as I pointed out before, they love to use. We are nothing more than a pawn for the Democrats to get money, to prove points, to stay in power, to use to their devices. So in February 2025, as part of an executive order targeting regulations deemed burdensome or tied to DEI, the Trump administration eliminated the clause that covered segregation. It was within the DEI mandate. So when you got rid of the DEI mandate, that clause went with it because it was a part of that clause. This was documented in the General Services Administration, or GSA memo, on the federal level, okay, dated February 15, 2025. The move is framed as reducing federal overreach in cutting unnecessary regulations. You can't rescind civil rights. Trump doesn't have the authority to do that. But in the government contract level, since it's already covered as a civil right, if you are discriminated against or you feel that you were discriminated against, you can still sue their asses. That has not gone away. It just means those people that are running federal contracts do not have to jump through all these hoops and complete all this paperwork. They can still be sued if you can prove you were discriminated against. It's the redundancy of already having laws on the book that charge or that prohibit discrimination on the basis of race, sex, orientation, gender, disability, veteran status, all these things, right? Segregation remains illegal under the Civil Rights Act of 1964, specifically Title VII, which prohibits discrimination in employment, including facility access based on protected categories. Removal of the clause from federal contracts doesn't legalize segregation. It removes a contractual obligation for federal contractors to explicitly maintain non-segregated facilities. And when I read that, non-segregated facilities, like they don't have to go out their way to try to make sure that they're not excluding trans people. A lot of this is not even Black related, like a lot of the other things that I've been talking about with regards to DEI. This was rescinded because people like Joy Reid and Don Lemon been pushing LGBTQ, particularly trans issues, using Black people's pain and suffering and the historical legacy of discrimination to get all types of things done for trans communities, the trans community. And a lot of people disagree with that. Okay? And I don't know if you notice or not, but a lot of trans people are not Black. There are a lot more trans people that are also white. So it's not just against Black trans, it's against white trans, all trans. So it's you coupling Black discrimination with trans discrimination or LGBTQ discrimination. And I've had people from the LGBTQ community write me and say, Tim Black, I'm glad that Trump has separated gender identity from orientation. Because similar to what Dave Chappelle said in his comedy special, LGBT community, the LGB community, that's it, was in a car going one way, and when the trans people got in the car, the TIA got in the car, the road got a lot longer and a lot harder. Because the Democrats do what they always do. They group everything together and say, we're all just one blob of people who are a protected class. So that's what caused this. That's what it was. And what Joy Reid is saying is just gaslighting. That's all it is. It's not based in fact. And if Don Lemon went along with it, makes it much worse. This is the type of lying shit she does on her show all the time. And that's why she no longer has a show. I'm upfront about my agenda. I'm upfront. I'm honest. You may disagree with my advocacy. You may say, Tim Black, you don't need to do this. Why are you separating Black people? Well, because Black people are in a precarious situation. You know, and that's my prerogative. But I'll fight for you too. I'm fighting for everybody, but I'm fighting for us more because we're hurt more. We're at the bottom. You're not. So that's how it works. And someone's got to do it. Somebody who can't be bought. And that's what I'm doing. Okay. But I'm real upfront about me advocating. And I want to be, I tell you all the time, I'm a Democratic Party hater. I'm real open and honest. Anybody that tunes into the Tim Black Show, you need to know I'm a Democratic Party hater. See how I tell you what it is? Does Joy Reid and Don Lemon come out and tell you what they are? No, they don't. Would they ever say it? I'm honest. I say, I'm a Democratic Party hater. I would help Black people get out of the Democratic Party. It's a burning house. We gotta get free. Set us free. Set us free. That's it. That's what I'm doing. Why can't they be as honest? Why can't they be as real? Why can't they be transparent? Because what are they really doing? Caping for the Democrats and putting money in their pocket and lying and gaslighting like this whole night has been done by gaslighting by Don Lemon and Joy Reid. And if you want to lose a little hope in humanity, go read the comment section of people lapdogging and kissing their feet and saying how great it is. And saying dumb shit like, what would be great if Roland Martin, Don Lemon, and Joy Reid all teamed up and created a network? Yeah, it would be great, because that would be the most unwatchable network of lying-ass, shilling-ass corporate sellouts, Black corporate sellouts, or Black-looking corporate sellouts. And we all know what not to watch. But let's be real. Don Lemon and Joy Reid would never slum around with the likes of Roland Martin. Not for any extended period of time.
Next on deck.
Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.